Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today we want to go over our daily technical analysis update for uranium. I'm going to touch on some of the big boys here, see what the overall market's doing for uranium. I'm not going to go into super depth with a whole bunch of companies, but I'll go and cover some of the main ones that a lot of people watch and own. And I'll let you know what my opinion is in uranium. So here we go. So we're going to start with Uranium. This is a popular ETF that people like to watch. I think this still looks pretty good. Two large up days there, sideways movement, big up day with the slow leak off of sellers. I still think that the buyers could push this higher here. Now, is this in a corrective phase? Maybe. I'm not an Elliott wave guy. I'm not that great at Elliott wave. But usually, you could say that this could be like I don't even want to get into it. But yes, it looks like we could potentially go higher here. URA is basically scribing out a very similar pattern. This is another ETF. We've got this large update and then the small down days coming within the update. That's a pretty, it's a trait that states that we could potentially move on up because the sellers were just leaking off here. We do have a black candlestick here, which means the momentum could go down a little bit. So we might see a very small down day next to it before moving higher. Or we open lower and we just rip higher. We'll see what happens. Camco's got the same type of scenario or similar setup. We don't see the sellers coming in here just stomping on it yet. So I still think it could potentially go higher. Same with NextGen. Looks like it's putting in a little bullish engulfing here. I think the buyers are still somewhat in control and we could see it move higher. Fission Uranium, again, we kind of came up to a point, sold off, and we're still chopping sideways. Denison Mines, up day, small down days. I would say that the buyers are still holding on here. Still looks good. UU coming on back. It doesn't look too bad. Very similar to some of the other companies. And again, guys, I'm just looking at the size of the candlesticks. I'm looking at the size of the up days in relationship to the size of the down days. And all you can do on the very, very short term is look for those types of patterns, saying that the buyers are in control versus the sellers are in control. We have small up days, big down days through here, and it changed right here where we have larger up days and small down days. Usually if you look at this here, very large up days all through here, and then the small little down days all through here. It means the buyers are in control and moving it higher. Until we started losing control beginning of February, you could start seeing these larger down days all through here, which was a battle between the buyers and the sellers, and you could see this thing really start to flatten out and go sideways. Uranium Royalty Corp, similar. We got large upward buying pressure through here and small down days. I think it's just a matter of time before we move to the upside. Canalaska, just kind of looking at some of these randomly, coming on back. We got some buyers down here. It looks like almost a bullish piercing. Not a very large one, but I think we've got some support down here. Hopefully we don't break to the downside. Or if we do, you get cheaper shares. Deep Yellow, we've been in this zone here. It's still just grinding sideways. UEC, doesn't look too bad. Got this nice kind of larger up day and then kind of sideways movement. Not much to really say. And then Encore Energy, this is my last slide. Again, we kind of popped higher. We're kind of carving out a sideways motion here, which I think the buyers are... It's tough to say here. You got some good momentum here. Sometimes they pull up and then they want to break. A new downtrend, if we're looking to see if this is in a new downtrend, we'd have to break below 0.77-ish down here and break downward for a new downtrend if this doesn't go higher. Just an FYI. So that's what I had for uranium. Not a huge long update. I didn't want to do a whole bunch. I kind of spent a lot of my time doing the gold and silver update and giving you guys market conditions. The market conditions also apply to uranium and all the other commodities. Check that video out, the gold and silver video that I released today for technical analysis, if you haven't seen it. I go into demographics, 10-year yields, inflation, all that stuff. And I gave you my opinion on what I'm seeing from a long-term perspective and how everything aligns. But uranium overall, I do think it has some work to put in here. And I think we're going to have to consolidate for a little while a little while longer. I don't think this is just going to blow up higher. So, but we'll see. You know, I'm holding on. I'm not doing anything. I would be a buyer at some of these levels, especially in Uranium Royalty Corp. I'd like to add more into, get a little bit more royalties in it. And that's kind of where I'm looking. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys listening and leaving comments. This is Finding Value.